Hey everyone, this is Neon Polygons, and today I want to give you a quick look at a really odd little toy item that came from Nintendo. So this is the UltraScope. Here's the packaging, as you can see. And for those of you who don't know, back in the day before Nintendo became a video game manufacturer, they were mostly known as being a toy maker. And this was one of kind of their heralded and most successful toy items, which was known as the UltraScope. And as you can see here on the package, you can actually see it has a Nintendo logo on it. And if I were to flip this around, using one hand here, and as you'll see kind of on the back of the packaging, it has the old school Nintendo 1960s logo as kind of its pattern on the packaging. So this is a really cool toy for back in the day. So if you kind of want to say, in a way, this is kind of a precursor to kind of the model of Nintendo, in which they were more of a innovator as opposed to kind of just making toys, or, you know, in the sense like today, video games that are, you know, the typical mold. So in the same vein as like the Wii and the Nintendo Switch and the Virtual Boy and the DS, it's really cool because this kind of shows kind of like the elements of Nintendo being an experimenter in their style of business, so to speak. So let's take a quick look at this. And this is a very big item. It's about 14 inches long, and with batteries inside of it, it's actually quite heavy. I'd probably say this is about maybe 5 pounds at least. And so you see it says it there, UltraScope. Now, what is this toy exactly? So it's a fairly cool concept. Basically, if you were to go into a heavy crowd and you're a little kid and you want to see above the crowd, you can use this item to essentially see what's up above, and I wouldn't say far away, but somewhat about a 6-foot distance from where you are from a higher point of view. I wouldn't say this is like a spy item, and you'll see why when I, start turning it on in a minute. But this item I have here, or this unit I have here, is in really good condition. As you can see, there's no markings on it. It's practically in collector's condition. And you'll see here there's 2 red buttons, right? One that says up and the other one that says down, right? And what that does is when you put in the batteries, this essentially will kick the item up, and essentially start moving. Essentially, it will start powering this contraption, which forces a mirror to go upwards of about 4 feet or 3 feet, and then down to basically shut down the unit and retract it back in. So I'll show you guys right now that it's definitely not like a spy item, and I'll actually power it on right now. You'll see how noisy it is. Let me just get this to focus a little bit. So So there you have it. That's the length. So I shouldn't say 3 feet. It's about more so 2.5 that it essentially extends out. And so I'll bring it closer. As you see here, it has like kind of a mirror on the end of it that shows you kind of like an overhead view, and it's tilted, so it can actually the mirror essentially, it shows what it's showing there, and then inside the UltraScope, as you'll see here as I flip this item down, there is a mirror down below, which, hopefully you can see it in the light, that catches what's being reflected in the mirror. So as I look up, you know, unfortunately you can't really see it as well through these goggles, but I have it pointed kind of at the end of the room, and what you should see there is what's on that table. So unfortunately, it's really hard to kind of get that view through the glasses or through the goggles over here. But what you would see is essentially you would see basically a view of the mirror, and which would be reflected into the unit itself, right through into the UltraScope. So let's actually kind of retract this guy in and see how cool like it comes right back. And there you have it. As you close it up, that's the UltraScope. So, really cool toy for its day, I have to admit. You know, this is not something I expected to see, or something I would expect to see in the 60s or 70s. And, you know, it is a really cool novelty item. I do think I would actually even use it today if I went to like a parade or like a sports celebration and I was really, really far back. But as you can tell, it's quite noisy. Looks like a bomb, to be honest with you guys. You know, it's not exactly like a light item. It is very heavy. You know, I'm holding it with one hand right now, but it's not small or compact by any means. So it is pretty cool to have this. It's a really cool history of Nintendo. And again, I guess really what makes it a cool collector's item is that it was created and designed by Gunpei Yokoi. So for those of you who don't know, again, Gunpei Yokoi was the guy who made, or one of Nintendo's chief, I guess, architects that made the Game & Watch, the Game Boy, the Virtual Boy, as well as some other like key Nintendo toys from back in the day. So for those of you who are big Nintendo aficionados, the lineage of Gunpei Yokoi is definitely seen here in this toy item. As you know, he created many of like what would be Nintendo's finest products and just really showed their innovation. And you could see that really in this toy. So this is really a cool item to, I guess, like check out. If you guys can find this, I would probably check eBay or Yahoo Auctions Japan. But just keep in mind that this is now a toy that is like stretching about 50 years. So to find this in kind of like a very, you know, good collector's condition or even just in working condition, you might want to just like inquire with the seller to see if they tested it and I guess its overall cosmetic condition. Now I am lucky here because this has not discolored in any facet, despite it being hard plastic. As you can see here, it's in all one uniform color throughout. And I would guesstimate that, you know, of the units that are still out there, you probably will not find it like that because, again, this is a toy for kids. And you know how kids are, they probably didn't really take good care of their toys. So, really cool item to have, really cool collector's item, definitely worth having for Nintendo fans and I guess kind of video game collectors in a sense as well, just because it is the history of Nintendo itself. Anyways, this is Neon Polygons, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And if you like this video, do me a favor, definitely subscribe to my channel, it means a lot. And hope to see you guys again soon.